Lindsay, you know how it is on a Friday afternoon, in that last hour of the day when you are looking at the clock, it's time for the weekend, your kids are going to be there, you're going to be there, all the fun planning, and then Clint pops into your workspace and says, what does he say?
You want to record a podcast about statistics? I mean, that's kind of true, except for I work on Saturday. So,
yeah, but how did it feel nonetheless?
I'm excited to talk about RVing statistics.
Your voice says statistics.
Statistics.
Did I just stutter?
Statistics.
Welcome to the RV Small Talk Podcast, where we talk about library trailers, truck campers, and the people, places, and adventures that go right along with them. We are your hosts. We are your hopes
and dreams.
From Princess Craft RV in Round Rock, Texas. I am Clint.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'm PJ. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Do you know that 72% of statistics are made up right off the spot?
You do this every time.
I can't help it.
Every single time.
I can't help it. It's the best statistic there is, and it's false.
100% of Lindsay's statistics are made up on the spot.
Yes.
All right. Well, these statistics came out from Go RVing just yesterday, and yesterday was the 27th of January, 2022. Is that right?
That's a lot of twos.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's look over and see if we can pick out something interesting to talk about. You go first.
1, 2, 3, not it. Actually, some of these are kind of interesting. So the first set has to do with people's New Year's resolutions as it pertains to, well, not really camping, but what they're going to do. So 39% fewer consumers want to save more money as their 2022 New Year's resolution compared to last year.
Does that surprise you?
Not real. I mean, 39% fewer is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, because I can see this as being something that a lot of people would say, and I don't know. I want to save more money this year.
No.
Okay, that feels good to say.
Right, but that's such a common goal every year, and this year is different.
Everyone's just tired of saying it?
After lockdown, and I think everybody has this mentality of F it, let's go.
Oh.
Let's spend the money, let's do the things, we must live.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody's like, okay, well, this is my life, and it's been really hard, really stressful. Mm-hmm. We need to get out there and make ourselves feel better. Okay. So saving money, 39%, that's pretty close to half. Mm-hmm. Of the people say, forget saving money. Yeah, but let's go have experiences.
It's 39% fewer consumers.
Yeah, fewer people want to save more money. So it's kind of, you got to think, I got to think a minute.
Let's say it's something like 50% of the population said they wanted to save more money in the new year. 39% of that 50% less. So,
what?
I mean, are we here to do math?
Fewer than before.
Are we here to do math?
It's not 39% of 100.
So maybe we need to go back to third grade. All right. 100 people last year said, I want to save more money. Uh-huh. But now only
71.
61.
Yep.
We're third grade.
It's the end of
61
the day on Friday.
Of those people want to save money this year. The rest of them want to have more experiences. Yeah. I actually think that's healthy.
Okay.
I mean, they're not homeless. They're not ready to retire. That. Well, I guess it doesn't. It doesn't tell us how many homeless people.
You are quiet.
I do
It
have.
sounds like you're in a cave. I'm just letting you know.
It's weird.
Is it?
Well, it's weird now, but when I run it through the software, it's not weird anymore. Because I have two compressors on.
You sound like you're whispering from really far away.
Oh, well, I'll try to be more Lindsay. I'll project my inner Lindsay.
I don't think it's you. I think it's the cord thingy. Well, what about more than 75% of people want to focus more on creating memories rather than buying material goods when making their 2022 New Year's resolutions? Yes!
I think that these
aren't those two connected?
Yeah.
Well, right.
This is the
whole series of people just being like, money doesn't matter. Let's go adventure.
I can't wait to see what the 2023 statistics say. Turns out money mattered.
I mean,
My credit report says money, I guess, did matter.
but when everybody is depressed or getting sick, I mean,
Yeah.
like, does money matter?
It's retail therapy,
or does
right?
memories matter?
Well, you would. I think that if you're going for experiences and memories, then 100% worth it. But if it's just retail therapy, that's like a bottomless pit.
That's like wasting. Okay,
Yeah.
but this doesn't address any of those things. But what it says is that a New Year's resolution, let's think about that. Isn't a New Year's resolution kind of like, I need to adjust to have a little more of X in my life or a little less of X? So,
I think everyone who has an ex would say less X.
yes, less. Well, okay.
All
but
my exes
more
live
of
in
something-
Texas.
That's probably true.
Well, that's why they're an ex. Okay, but the reality is, all right, you just want more or less of something. So they want more experiences, not necessarily
And less money.
Okay.
All right, I think that is what I take away. Nobody says, "Hey, I'm going to blow all my money," but they just try to see where they can up their game.
Okay.
Hopefully, they stay financially responsible, right?
I mean,
I don't care as long
always,
as I get the
hopefully,
memories.
right?
When you think about camping, how many pizzas do you have to give up to pay for a campsite?
Have you seen me? I'm still,
yeah. I mean, really.
Wait, I'm
one
giving up pizza?
one
question.
extra large supreme pizza will pay for a campsite. Right?
What are you getting at here?
I'm getting at that you can be financially responsible and up your game
You
of
feeling
adventure.
attacked?
Yeah,
Or
You're-
hungry?
or hungry. You
Real
want
low.
a pizza?
Okay, 68% of Americans are planning to go on their next big trip in 2022, adopting the GOAT, which is greatest of all trips. I'm not sure if that's really what the GOAT means.
They made that up.
But it's supposed to be the greatest of all time. That mindset. So, kind of 68% of Americans are planning like their big let's go trip in 2022. Are you?
I'm planning a trip I've never done. Absolutely.
Are you?
Yes, next month.
I'm not. So, I'm the other percent.
That's because I planned your trip.
Where are we going?
San Diego next month.
Oh, no, I mean camping.
Well, that's kind of adventure trip.
You are
this
camping in
doesn't
someone
say
else's
camping.
house.
No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
a VRBO.
but-
Adventure.
No, but it implies.
So we are taking a big adventure to San Diego in March, and
That's going to be awesome. I'm very excited.
it is. Yeah,
My trailer won't be there.
your trailer won't be there. That's true, but it is a big adventure, and we set about trying to figure out how to have a big adventure. So if you did plan a big adventure, Lindsay, what would it be? Where would it go? Where would you go?
I don't know.
Hey, Pachuco. No, Pachuco? Pachuco.
Pachuco.
Hey,
Pachuco.
Pachuco.
Where do you go? What's happening?
Where did you go?
We always have to sing a little bit here.
mean, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure I care where I go. Just that I go and for a long time.
I kind of feel the same way a lot of times.
I don't
I just
care
want to
where.
have an adventure, but it's
I'd like to
Okay.
leave the state of Texas.
I'd like to leave my
Step
state
one.
of mind.
leave
I'll
your
leave
exes
all my exes
in Texas.
Yeah, maybe I'll hang my hat in Tennessee.
George Strait. Where are you?
Not here.
I'll send you royalty fees.
Oh man. So these all kind of go together, and people are looking. Why do you think people are planning the greatest of all time trips? Do you think that they've been 2 years stuck watching either real or made up storylines on Netflix or YouTube or what have you, and it's just kind of built up this like, no, I got to have that level of experience?
I think that, the more TV you watch, TV is so bad sometimes that turns you into more of a couch potato. I mean, maybe if you're watching Yellowstone, you want to go have an adventure, but for the most part, I don't know.
I think it's probably a mix of people. There's definitely people out there who say, I'm ready for my adventure. I'm sick of being stuck inside. This is my year. That kind of like passionate, like dreamer type. And I think I think there's a portion of people who it is rooted in more of like a dark, like the past year or the past 2 years have been so sad for me and so isolating. And I have to do this now because who knows how much time is left. And like, this is the time. Everybody has that mentality right now of like,
yeah, I believe you're right.
Yeah. I mean, people are dying around us, so I have to go live my dream now. But I think it's, some people are more.
If you could only
the
see.
listeners cannot see the wet noodle fish hand she's waving around above her head.
Like dreamy,
it's like it's more like a jellyfish that you're hanging above your head waving around.
Well, the pandemic has changed so many things. It's changed the way that we live. It's changed the way that we work. 30%.
And think about the future in general,
Yes.
and how much time we have and how we want to spend it.
30% of the workforce works from home at least part of the time.
That's crazy.
30%.
That's awesome.
That is huge. And that happened during the pandemic. Another statistic that I found in the back of this
Made up.
website, maybe, is that people who have electric vehicles, the EV owners, they're 4 times more likely to own an RV.
What?
What does that mean?
Well, if
I
they
don't know.
I think people
They have money?
Yeah, I was
They're
gonna say,
connected to
I
the
think that's it.
outside, and they care about the environment.
Okay, so that may be, but it
Okay.
also means that they have a lot of expendable money, or they're okay with going into debt for these
Or
type of
spending
products.
their money.
So saving more money this year isn't their priority.
Definitely not.
It's having more experiences. So, I think
Huh.
the pandemic has
4
changed
times?
so many things.
And they're
4
gonna-
times
and they're
more
gonna
likely to
tow with
own
their
an
EV
RV.
vehicles, so they're all camping close.
Well, they must have something else, because that does get tricky and it limits your options. But
Plenty of people do it. We see it all the time.
we work different, we live different, and I think we travel different. 600,000 RVs are going to be built this year.
How many were built last year, Bob?
Bob?
Bob.
Bob?
It
Bob?
sounded like a game show. I don't know.
Like, come on down.
Do I win a trip to Hawaii?
No.
$1 million?
You win telling me how many RVs were built last year.
Ooh, go for it. Make your
About
bet.
the same last year. And it is a huge record. It's tremendous. So when you have that many RVs, I guess I would be making things up if I told you what was
go
built
ahead. Now that
the
with
year
that disclaimer.
before, the year before. I didn't pull that, but that's a tremendous number of RVs because the demand is so high. So we've changed the way we want to travel and think about things. And I think that when people are more comfortable on airplanes, everybody's ready to fly to Europe. I think there will still be a change in the way people travel here.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Google, how many RVs were built in 2019? It's not going to talk to me.
it's not.
406,000.
Lindsay, when
That's a change.
when Google Assistant wouldn't talk to you, how did that feel? How did that make you feel?
Well, she has a British accent, so when she doesn't talk to me, I do get really sad because I love hearing that British accent.
It's like the coldest of shoulders.
She says, sure. All right. Let's get back to this. So, those were the New Year's resolutions, kind of looking forward to 2022 statistics. These I also thought was interesting. 70% of millennials would like to see more online features in store, like recommendations based on past purchases, reviews, and product comparison. I mean, not super surprising, but 70%. Like, the way that things are going to sell, the way that people want to buy is completely changing.
We're so used to doing everything online now,
Right.
and we're so used to our computers having all the info. But people still want to come into a dealership, but they want all of this to work together.
They want it all integrated.
Yes, they want to walk into the store and push some buttons and have, a hologram pop up and talk to them. They just want everything
3D
to make
print me
sense.
my RV. I'll pick it up later.
That would be awesome.
So I understand that this is kind of like the very sophisticated Apple store, Microsoft store, Tesla dealership kind of feel that they're kind of looking for. How do small dealerships accomplish this? Like, I wonder, because we don't dabble in writing code and making apps and things like that.
Well, I think dealerships have to be now thinking about how to make everything work together. You should be able to do everything in the store, and that should connect to everything online so that you could start online, do everything, and then come to the store and still have those same experiences.
Okay, so we're going to have to brainstorm some ways to work this direction.
Yeah, I think all dealerships
Y'all have
do.
fun with that.
Because millennials really want that. They think it should be there. I believe car dealerships have already been there. Have you shopped for a car lately? I mean, you can stand there at their giant screen. Yeah. It's all a touch screen, and you can build your car right there standing in the dealership.
Sure.
And
well, I mean, I've always done that online just to see how much something would cost.
Yeah, but they want to do that in the dealership too. They want to do it everywhere.
You know, we've always had the ability to have someone sit down, you know, go through some product that we have online, and then sit down with the salesman and say, okay, do you want a special order this with exactly what you want? We've always had that ability. So this is just speeding it up.
Everything.
With technology.
Well, making it visual and making it hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, filling out a piece of paper.
It isn't in the statistics here, but I think along with this is that they customers want it now. They want it to be instant. Yeah. They want to figure out everything online digitally and ordering and what the possibilities are, color changes and comparisons, and they want it like now.
How soon until we're in a VR, virtual reality kind of showroom situation where, okay, let's get in this virtual reality trailer and kind of design the space, pick your color and all that, and go from that standpoint.
Well, I don't think we're that far from going to a dealership, sitting in the trailer, and then saying, okay, I want to design my own and have some type of touchpad where you create one right there,
boop it
on your iPad even, and it pops up, okay, here's what it looks like. Car manufacturers have that.
Do you see that color changing car?
No.
I've seen
color changing car.
On the outside it changes from black to white.
I saw it on YouTube, not on the outside.
Yeah, on the outside. It has.
I saw it on the YouTube.
It has. I'll show you guys after the podcast.
On the YouTube?
Cool. No, it's on the podcast. It's on the outside. On the outside of the car, it changes.
Oh, so this is why going into a store is helpful. So you don't get caught in these merry-go-round conversations.
Okay, this is one that I didn't really understand. So 3 in 5 shoppers who researched financing options for a major purchase did so in store. So you're talking about literally people who... like they went into the store and then they got on their phone as they were in the store.
And they looked up credit unions and banks and lenders.
So who cares?
Because this is actually a little bit doing a home run around traditional financing format of sitting down and saying our dealership financing, and maybe you walked in pre-approved from your bank or credit union. But those are the traditional ways that you came in. You're either paying cash with a check or something like that, or you had pre-approved from bank or credit union, or you just went with dealership financing. This is actually circumventing that whole process, kind of throwing it in the air and saying, I'm doing my own and I can do it quickly on an app on my phone.
Oh.
It's a change.
That they walked in the dealership and then sat down and said, I think I might want to buy that one. And then they pull out their phone and they start looking for financing options right there in the dealership. And that's, people are trying to like sort it out right now. And it's a connection to the online expectation, which is growing. People expect it to be easy, instant, and connected to in the store.
I like this next one because it's totally the way I work. It's 79% of consumers sought out websites with product reviews in 2021 compared to only 63% of consumers in 2018. And that's from the Power Review Report.
Oh my God, but could like product reviews... I mean, it's how I live my life now.
Yeah.
I do really.
I think so many people do.
Yeah.
So what happens when you see a terrible review? Does that make you stop and not buy it?
No, because there's so many good reviews that are fake, first of all. And then there are bad reviews where obviously the person is a little, and like,
How do you spell that? I think the G is silent.
so just, you have to like take it all in. And I think anybody who's done it for a while is,
little savvy.
can spot. And, but the research aspect of it is almost fun. And trying to see like, I don't know, just because it has bad reviews, well, it might all be bad reviews based on it's not the exact color I was looking for. Well, the color doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't know.
So there's a couple of things I have.
That's how people shop now. It's awesome.
First off, I totally do this, and I find that the psychological end of things is I totally read reviews with confirmation bias. Like, I really like this thing, so I lean towards the positive reviews, or I'm not sure about this thing, and I will go down the rabbit hole on the negative reviews.
That's really true. But I filter, and I always go for the bad ones first, and then I'll filter by newest, because then I want to see the most recent.
And then
ones.
verified purchases and all.
And then I email the people who did the reviews.
Yeah, and I knock on
I find
doors.
their address.
Yeah.
And you go look in their driveway.
Firstborn child.
Oh. What kind of products are you searching for?
I know, really. And then how many
Kidneys?
children do you have? How many kids do you have?
So, but also, so with these reviews,
He can't talk.
If I'm researching an automobile, I go to Edmunds.com and things like that.
Right.
There's nothing that I've run across that is really consumer review driven like that for RVs at this time. Nothing like Edmunds.com or Bluebook.com, where you have a lot of consumers who've done this.
Yeah, a lot of people go to forums to get information,
Right.
but when you're looking at all that, the only thing that jumps out to me when I'm looking at all that is if I see the same, maybe not yet, but when I see the same comments over and over.
Okay.
I mean, not just one and then a couple of people saying, yeah, I hate that too. But if somebody says, yeah, this piece didn't work, and then somebody else down the line says, yeah, I had this same problem. And if you got too many of the same things in a row, then I'm nervous. If you get just some random one, I mean, especially with RVs, I would love to say nothing breaks, but they do. Things happen.
Wait, why isn't there a review site for RVs?
I think it'd be a huge undertaking. And we don't quite have the same infrastructure and clout the same way the auto industry does.
Yeah, but that would be awesome.
But that's where you go to forums to find out about which.
Right, but you can go to forums about cars. Yeah, I mean, it's just people like ranting.
That's true.
Kelly Blue
That's
Book.
true.
Yeah. It's
That's
just not
true.
the same.
Well, Clint, why don't you start that?
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
It's just like
He's
work.
got
You don't
so
have
much
anything
free
else
time.
to do.
I shudder.
The last one that's on here, I think, is very cool. And before we finish that, I want to thank Go RVing, because where we pulled this is from Go RVing's
Yeah, I'll
kind
put
of
the link.
post. They do such a great job, and they put out a handful of statistics every month.
And none of them are made up.
And none of them are, well, they might be made up by Go RVing, but then they're real to us.
Lindsay.
No, I'm just saying, Go RVing, like, those are the most legit RVing statistics.
You
They know
know
what
Go
they're
RVing.
doing.
Go RVing does such a great job for consumers. I just want to put a shameless plug out there, and you can Google it and see all the cool stuff.
Clinton, I ruined the plug.
That's all right. That's all right. Nobody's listening to you at this point. So anyway, the last one is before you go, over 1 million Instagram posts mentioning photo dump between March and June of 2021.
I like this down here. It says why this matters.
Why does it matter, Lindsay?
The era of the carefully curated and painstakingly filtered Instagram posts is over. Consumers are looking for transparency and authenticity
In all aspects of their lives. So let's go out and hang around a campfire and
then
be real.
Dump all the photos
Well,
on
that's-
Dump
Instagram.
the photos.
That's the nice thing about a true photo dump. You're going to see the whole camera
Yeah.
roll. And it's
Hashtag no filters.
Yes.
like the knowest of filters.
Not even any hashtags.
Oh.
No hashtag, no filter. Boom. Out. Lindsay out. Photo dump.
Well, everybody, it's been a great podcast.
Oh, y'all want me to do a podcast at 4:30 on a Friday. This is what you're getting, okay?
Well, I think it's been kind of fun. So
I did really enjoy the format of these statistics
Yeah.
presented by Go RVing.
Can I get out now?
Of what, the podcast?
I'm stuck
You've been
here.
asking
I'm
for months.
stuck in this dinette.
Well, as boring as statistics can be, this was fun.
Absolutely. So thank you for coming here at the very end of your Friday to record with me. It's been a beautiful thing.
Well, we got to sit in a trailer because we don't have an office right now.
Yes,
So
it never
this is
ended.
lovely. I don't know. It's been kind of fun.
Everybody, we would like to thank you for joining us for this quick little rough little episode. Don't forget to check out the show notes at rvsmalltalk.com. Join us on the RV Small Talk community on Facebook and review us on all of your podcast players, especially Apple Podcasts, because for some reason out there in podcast world, it has the most clout. So,
And remember to subscribe so we can harass you weekly.
ooh, that sounds. It just sounds.
It does
I'm not
sound.
going to put any adjectives to it. And with that, everybody, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time, but we don't see you because it's a podcast.
But sometimes we see you because you film it. But I'm glad you didn't film it this time because I was like picking my nose and I yawned a few times.
Well, it's Friday afternoon. What do you expect?
Bye.